I'm back. Okay, so let's talk about this here. You know what I mean? Let's talk about free will for instance. You know what I mean? And this is just going to be a nice little rant again. You think that you have free will, but you don't. These days, anything you do in your social life, in your economic life, in your financial life, you're conditioned to do. And it's a conditioning that gradually got more, it's a conditioning on steroids. Let me break it down for you. Okay, we were conditioned to believe that if we do certain things and we follow certain rules, we're going to get certain results, right? We also conditioned to think that there's a path in life that everybody should take, and there was a point in time where everybody was shamed that they didn't take that path. You go to school, you get a degree, you get a what you call it, a trade, you go into the workforce, you get married, you have children, two cars, you know what I mean? You were conditioned to think that's the way it was going. It's not that conditioned anymore to do that because everybody's just willy-nilly out here just popping out kids and single mom, single dad, deadbeat. Everybody's just going buck wild. So it was like a rebellion to the conditioning. All right. So now let's talk about social media because we had a little discussion about that, and video platforms and stuff like that. And I'll drop some little stories as to why it's conditioning. See, these days everybody's talking about how about how things have changed. People want fast, 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 and they want this and they want that, or you know what I mean. But did we really change, or did we get conditioned to change? See, if you notice it, the change didn't happen overnight. It started to happen with one generation, and subconsciously, that generation taught the other generation to react to the conditioning. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see the vibe here? Because you subconsciously follow the cultural path that's put forth for you. Thus, your children will follow it too. Like we always say, oh, these young people and the TikToks and they want it fast, and now, come on, please. My generation started to want things fast. The next generation after mine was even more into the faster vibe. And now it's on overdrive with their kids. I don't know what's going to happen with my grandkids. It's on overdrive because we were conditioned to do it. I'll give you an example. Okay, when I was younger, we would go to the movie theaters, right? It's called marketing. And there wouldn't be a commercial for Coke, but there would be something flashing across the screen about Coca-Cola. And you go, oh my God, I want one of those. Let me go and buy one. Let me go get one. Let me go. You know what I'm saying? So now they figure out that subliminal messages will get to you. Just like subliminal changes. It's not messages anymore. It's subliminal changes. Video platforms tell you that, oh, the audience have changed. The audience didn't change. They changed the audience. If you notice in a lot of these video platforms, they put out stuff, not so much that people want, but stuff that they say they think people want. But in essence, they put out stuff that will get people's reaction. Depending on the culture or the situation you're in, they'll put out whatever it is they think you're going to gravitate towards. And then they say it's what you want, when in reality it's what they want you to want because it gets them faster results. I'll give you an example. When I was a kid and you go to the grocery store, there wasn't candy lining all the grocery stores and stuff like that on the at the cashier. There wasn't. All of a sudden, impulse buying. And let me tell you the trick, okay? If you're alone and you're an adult and you come up to the grocery store and you're like, I am not going to get any candy, it's not good for me. You get to the cashier, the same candy you see in the aisles is sitting there at a smaller packaging. And you go, oh, that's going to get that. Boom, impulse shopping, right? Here's another thing too. Your kids see the candy in the store. They get to the register. Back in the day, there wasn't any candy to tease them anymore. Far gone notion, you know what I'm saying? But hey, now the candy is there, so then boom, another reminder. So the kid throw a fit. And knowing how parents are, they're embarrassed because the kid is acting up, they buy the stuff for them anyway. And then they say, oh, that's bad parenting. But then if the kid is throwing a fit on the ground and you don't get it for them, that's bad parenting. You need to stop that kid, discipline that kid. When the company created that situation by putting that thing right there so the kid could see it, or for the person who don't want to buy it to see it and get it anyway. Marketing. And people think it's just, oh, they just happen to put it there. No, it's psychology, man. These companies and places, they have people studying what would get a human going. It's like those dating gurus and the red pill guys. It's a little bit of truth and twisted to trigger the emotion of people. It's easier to think that somebody's having a hard time. It's easier to not think that somebody's having a hard time dealing with something than to think that, oh, they're out to get me. So they twist it to that out to get me thing. And I know this might sound like nonsense and, me just babbling, but it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Like as a creator and thing, you put out videos and stuff like that. Last year, the videos would be doing good. Then they make a change and boom, the videos, and they say, oh, things changed. No, things didn't change. What changed is that they're shoving down your throat faster, quicker, trending. That's what changed. It's not the people that change. It's what they're pushing down your throat that changes you. And this is not a conspiracy theory. That's marketing 101. That is marketing 101. With a sociology background, I can tell you straight up. They study people. It's like back in the day. Okay, if you notice, you go to certain areas and certain drinks and certain foods are different than when you go to certain areas. They did studies. What are these people most likely to eat here? And what are they most likely to eat here? And if you go to like areas that are the same in economic brackets, they have different brands of stuff there because they did the studies. What are the people most likely to eat there? So you understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'll give you an example. And this one have a little bit to do with income. You go to the rich area and you see what kind of food they have, and then you go to the poor areas and see what kind of food they have. There is more healthy food in the richer area. And there's more chemical food in the poor area because they know the rich people are going to buy the healthy food, the poor people are going to buy the poor food, and you have to buy that the chemical food because what are you going to eat? You can't say, oh, I'm not going to buy that stuff, I'm going to go buy the vegetables and stuff, but you can't because you can't afford it. Here's the thing. Here's another thing I noticed too because I work at a grocery store. If I go to the grocery store in the poor areas, none of the fruit or anything have seeds. You go up to the rich area there and everything has got seeds in it. It's cheaper to get that and I know I'm going off thing there, but I'm trying to make a point here. They sell the non-seed stuff to the poor people as, oh, the seed is just too much hassle. People are too lazy to deal with the seeds. I've heard that before. People are too lazy to deal with the seeds. No, it's just cheaper to get it. They just transfer the idea of how or why they eat those fruit onto the people that's buying them. It's just cheaper for them, and they have to find a way to make it seem like you're the problem here. You're the reason why we're doing it. No, you're not the reason why they're doing it. They're doing it because it's cheaper to do it. The platforms that are pushing out short form videos saying, oh, it's what the people want. No, they're pushing it on the people. The more content you get, is the more advertising they get, the more people go in there and just keep going, keep going, keep going. The more money they make. And I'm not saying it's an evil thing. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. We are not thinking, we are conditioned to think. I'll give you an example, okay? I saw a female friend of mine put up a meme, okay? And the meme is called Snow White and who was it? Is it Snow White? Sleeping Beauty. And the prince came in, and the prince was all proper and prim, and he sleeps Sleeping Beauty, and all this crazy stuff. You know how the story goes. She says, that's what they want me to look for in a man. And then she put, this is what I want in a man. And it's a guy from a TV show, one of them biker TV shows. And I thought, but wait a minute. They told you before to want Prince Charming, and now they're telling you to want that bad boy. That's not what you want. That's what they tell you to what you get conditioned. And they think that is what they want. They think that is what, as a human being, they just naturally want that. No, you are conditioned to want that. It's what's selling right now. It's probably going to switch back, and everybody's going to want the gentleman. It's going to switch back because a lot of women are realizing now that that ain't working at all. Because the gentleman used to go to work every day and come back home. He's not out there banging. And I'm not saying that gentlemen didn't go out and do their thing too, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that image that they wanted all of a sudden, that traditional man that they were conditioned to want before, they want him back. It's all conditioning, people. Come on, man. And I'm not just saying for one culture or another culture. It doesn't matter where you go in this world, it's all about conditioning. And if you find yourself living on the outskirts of that conditioning, you get left behind. Hell, if you live in that conditioning, you get left behind anyway. How else society is going to keep you working within society without conditioning you? And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that some people hijack that conditioning and use it for their own benefit. The only solution I see is to be human. Just be human. Because if you're human, you don't go by what is being conditioned to you. You go by what you feel as a human. Because people say they feel stuff, but you don't. You were conditioned to feel that. People were conditioned to hate each other and think they're better than each other. You watch children play, they don't care. They just play with any and everybody. They may ask questions, but they ain't going to, turn away unless they are being conditioned to turn away. Don't play with that guy, that kid there. He's not of your financial caliber. Don't play with that person there. They are not the same as you. That's how they start conditioning them. Because before that, they didn't care. So when they come to you and they say, this is a change, nah, that's a condition change. Everything is condition change because everything is based on commerce anymore. It's not based on what people want. It's what they want you to want so that they could, make that money. And it's not a conspiracy theory. Just take a stop and take a look around. That's why we have commercials. They condition you to buy stuff from them. That's why TV shows have clips that they show in. And if you, ooh, I got to see that. They condition you to go see that movie. Oh, drink this. It's healthy for you. Conditioning you to buy that. Like, for instance, if they put certain words in it, healthy, low fat, low sugar. Wasn't there a couple of influencers that did that, and when they come to find out it wasn't really in there because you are conditioning by what's written on there. And trust me, I fell for it too. I used to think drinking orange juice was so good for you. Come to find out there's so much sugar in it, killing your body. That conditioning. It's healthy, but is it? Nothing or very few things you do comes from your own sense of free will. You walk out, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have some conditioning, but if the conditioning is detrimental, that's a whole different story there. If that conditioning is taking away your humanity, that's a whole different story there. We do need structure, but the structure shouldn't define who you are to the point where you don't see anything else going on around you. And like I said, maybe I'm not making any sense. Hey, you know what I mean? But I think I'm old enough to, and I've traveled enough to see what's going on around me. It's not what you want. It's what whoever want so that it could benefit them. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. Everybody is not like that. The majority of people are not like that. And I'm going to repeat that because I know some people just take out a little piece of what I say in some of these videos and go, well, that's, I'm going to repeat it. Most people are not like that. Let me say it again. Most people are not like that. Most people just want to be human and live and enjoy life and do all of that. But they're conditioned to think that this way is going to do it, or that way is going to do it, or doing this is going to do it. When nothing is a guarantee. It's not. Especially when it's a rat race and a dog eat dog. I've worked several different jobs and I watch people and it's a dog eat dog vibe. You know what I'm saying? Look at the images, everything situation that they were put in. What was that? And I always talk about that because that was a turning point in the 80s. Andre Agassi, image is everything. At that point, people were just being people vastly. Then that image is everything came into play, and then everybody's worried about what other people think about them, what they wear, how they act. Then people are acting as not themselves. So it's a whole lot of pretend stuff. Hey, I want to be a nice person. I'll just pretend to be nice, And there's a lot of that going around. Hey, I want to be a bad boy. I just pretend, and a lot of these things, a lot of, okay, like for instance, a lot of the videos I watch, especially on dating, the bad boy, this bad boy, that, a lot of people are teaching you how to pretend to be that. I saw one guy says confidence is a skill. Is that what he said? It's not a skill. It's only you only look at it as a skill because people are putting people down, which you are doing because you're always on there talking about all these simps and them. Oh, you're a fool for letting a woman do. What do you think that's doing to their confidence? Confidence is innate. It's built in. It's not a skill to acquire. You just have to be if you're just human. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, you know what I mean? But if you notice, people lose confidence by the experiences. So if you lose it, that means you already had it. People just erode it by how they react with you. You see what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff they say that we have to acquire, we already had. It was just conditioned out of us. Like being human, that was conditioned out of us. And it usually end up with a sort of a social or cultural rebellion. That's why we have so many people not even caring about marriage or anything like that. They're just out there doing their thing. Sometimes that conditioning leads to chaos. And I ain't coming to you with no solutions or anything. All I could say is just be human. Have compassion. The human things, compassion, love, the quest for peace. That to me is human. People have to be talked into war, but they could sit at home and be peaceful without issue. Think about that. You have to psych people up to go out to the battle, but you don't have to psych them up to be peaceful. It just is. I guess what I'm saying, the whole vibe here is it's all conditioning, man. And I have fallen into it to myself. So, I'm not saying everybody's this and everybody's that. Hey, we all have. But we all have to acknowledge it.